Anwar Gill pressing Kyle Lofton. Bonnie's leading scorer, still perfect from the floor. Attaway knifing inside, dump off to Welch, two-handed jam! Holmes draws the double team. Lofton finds him, 32! Jaron Holmes with a career high. This is the great thing you like to see about the veterans on this team. Holmes wants another, why not? Jaron Holmes, 38 points. Infallible. One of the premier shot blockers in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Shot clock winding down on the Explorers. Throw another one on the career tally for Oshuni. Colonials turning defense into offense. Hunter Dean with the pilfer and the jam at the other end. But St. Bonaventure, out of the media timeout, does have the 8-6 edge. Looking to extend on their two-game winning streak and get one step closer to clinching that coveted regular season title. Still one game to go on the regular season slate after this. 4 to shoot for the Bonnies off the inbound. Welch is going to hoist from deep. Got it!
What do you say at this point? I said it feels like he's going to make it every time. That one was deep in the Riley Center.
Coming off a game against Davidson in which he made 5 from long range. That tied a season high for threes for Dom Welch. He's got 2 in the early going tonight.
He came in shooting over 41%. That's going up real quick.
Shot clock already down to single digits for the Colonials. The last ditch effort from Bishop left it short.
They've done a good job on Bishop so far, making it tough for him every time he touches the basketball.
That was just the first shot that Bishop was able to get up. Ricky Lindo also 0 for 3 from the floor. Holmes off the shot fake, draws 2 defenders, swings it for Lofton near side. Step back jumper off the mark. Bishop will track down the long rebound.
He wasn't really in balance after he had the filthy crossover. You could see it the way the shot leaked out right.
Do you mind Kyle Lofton with that newfound confidence from deep taking that shot?
Not at all. You prefer it. If he has the confidence back, that's huge for this team. You'll live with your guy taking a shot like that.
Battle using the left hand on the turnaround and coming up empty as Welch comes down with the rebound. Holmes now trying it from long range. Unable to hit. Rebound battle.
Still would like the Bonnies to get something going inside. I know they've made threes the last couple of ball
games.
They're
a running gun team now, Chris.
Well, as Coach Schmidt likes to say, offense is fickle. That's why we play defense.
Attaway coming up with the steal. Bonnie's looking to push, but they don't have numbers, so Welch will slow things down. Welch gonna try it again. This time a bit too strong, this back iron. And Oshuni got his hand in there. It's gonna save an extra possession for the Bonnies.
Yeah, a bit of a heat check for Dom there.
And the narrative for much of the season, Chris, was the inability of this St. Bonaventure team to be effective from beyond the arc. Now that they add that element on offense, they become that much more dangerous going into March.
Well, that's the only thing they didn't really do well, and now you have the ability to maybe come back in games when you're down because you can make threes, and you're already unbelievable defensively at 18th in the entire country.
Much of the season, this team was in the bottom half of the conference in three-point percentage. Now they're tied for 3rd. Attaway with the baseline runner, falls off the table, and there's Dean crashing the glass.
Good pass from Oshuni. Felt the double team, found Attaway in the corner, just unable to finish that tough floater.
Freshman for the Colonials, Tyler Brelsford into the game. First substitution for either side. I imagine we're not going to see many tonight. Double team coming on Dean. Knocked away, it'll stay this side.
Good double and knock that out of it. I don't know that you need to double that, but very effective nonetheless.
7 to shoot for George Washington off of the inbound. Brelsford looking for some help, finds it in Dean. GW's got to get something up. Bishop nearly knocked it down.
It's crazy, that's the most space he's even had today so far.
Lofton doing a commendable job defensively against the leading scorer in the A-10, James Bishop. Turnaround won't fall for Oshuni.
He was just a little too deep, had to use the glass at that point.
Bonnie's 0 for the last 5, so things slowing down offensively, really for both teams, as Welch called for the foul.
He doesn't like it either. He thought it was all ball.
And we're going to get another substitution. The big fella, Noel Brown, in for GW. Freshman out of Leesburg, Virginia, as Dean will take a seat.
It's a big body in there for sure, and could be a big building block for GW. He's coming off one of his best games.
You know, Oshuni's given up about 50 pounds on him, but he comes away with the ball there. Back come the Bonnies, just 6 points in this first half for George Washington. They're 3 of 10 from the floor. Welch, again from deep.
That's basically a layup. If you try to go under a screen with Dominic Welch, you're giving up 3 points at this point. He is so locked in. Too easy for the Bonnies.
That is now 9 straight games he's connected on multiple three-pointers. And in 3 of those, he's hit 4 or more. I imagine it's going to be 4 of those he's hit 4 or more before long. GW goes inside to Brown. Can't connect on the turnaround.
I think Oshuni got a piece of that one too.
Bonnie's a chance to make this a double-digit game. Feed for Oshuni, two-handed flush.
Way too easy inside. Beautiful little pick and roll. Oshuni throws it down.
That lead out to 10 for St. Bonaventure. Coach Christian wants a minute to talk things over with his guys. We'll take a timeout along with him. You're watching Atlantic 10 Men's College Basketball on ESPN+.
Back here in the Riley Center, and look at this emphatic dunk from Oshuni. He loves playing George Washington, Tommy. He's averaging in his career against them 18 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. His first game at GW, he went absolutely nuts. 20 points down there, 18 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks, and it was really the game that put him on the map.
And that was his first bucket of the game. You saw him hook up with Kyle Lofton. These two played a lot of basketball together, going back to their prep school days at Putnam Science Academy. Lindo out of the timeout, misses from deep, and Oshuni down with another rebound.
That's what he does against GW, right as advertised.
St. Bonaventure on an 8-0 run. The GW scoring drought is approaching 5 minutes. Oshuni posted up inside on Brown. They get it to Attaway, top of the key. He's going to oblige him with a 3, and he's got it.
He looks over at the bench. Oh, why did you leave me?
Both he and Lofton really gaining some confidence from deep. Lofton was plastered on that screen from Brown.
That was their chance to get Bishop free with Lofton on the ground, and they completely missed it.
And just not a lot of activity out of this George Washington offense, Chris. There's already only 5 to shoot. Down to 2. Lindo's going to get one up. And again, Ricky Lindo coming up empty. He's 0 for 5 today.
That's a tough shot. Oshuni comes over to make you have to shoot that little spinning floater very high up there.
This is just Lindo's 5th game this season with GW. He's had 3 double-doubles in his 4 appearances this season, but so far, scoreless tonight. Welch on the attack, gave it right to Bishop.
That's twice for Welch now.
James Bishop read that all the way.
That had to be a bucket for GW. Offense has been hard to come by. You needed a fast break bucket, and instead they pull it back out. This is their offense, though. A high ball screen, maybe a second, and get him free. There it is.
Bishop pulls up. Big 3 for James Bishop. Go ahead, Chris.
Bishop read it perfectly, and that's the first time they've got him free. Maybe send 3 screens if you have to. Anything to get him free.
The leading scorer in the Atlantic 10 Conference is now on the board with his first triple of the game. Lofton looking for the answer inside. Runner won't go.
Don't you feel like every time Lofton shoots a runner, it's going in, though? When it doesn't go in, it's almost weird.
Welch from 3 and Lofton from inside the paint.
Been that kind of year, Tommy.
Lofton getting down on the floor. Bishop able to come away with it, but he's double teamed. Looking for some help, finds it in battle. Stop, pop, book it.
That's a tough shot. Oshuni got there, put a hand on his face. But just too much space for Battle. Beautiful pump to get himself free.
Silky smooth stroke from the southpaw Battle. He's up to 4 points on the evening. GW cuts the deficit back down to single digits. AJ Vasquez now into the game for the Bonnies. He's going to throw one up. Left it short.
A tough shot there. Brailsford was all over him.
Bishop using that screen. Throw back to Brown. And the big man draws some contact. He'll be headed to the free throw line, and we'll have our first free throws of the game.
That was one of the first sets where it felt like GW tried to get each other involved, not just play to score.
Maybe not the guy George Washington wants at the free throw line, though. 29% on the year. He misses back iron on the first.
That's one of those fouls as a coach. You say that was a good foul.
Entering the game for the Bonnies, number 4, Jalen
Now
Shaw.
comes the second reserve of the game for St. Bonaventure as Jalen Shaw checks in.
I love this move by Coach Schmidt. You have 24 seconds until the immediate timeout. As long as a whistle happens quickly after there, you can steal some extra rest for Oshuni.
Brown gets 1 of 2 to go, and Shaw seems like he matches up just slightly better with Brown physically.
He's a bigger body in terms of just that being built a little bigger. He's got a little more weight to him.
Little surge here from George Washington. Lead down to 8 for St. Bonaventure. Welch tries to turn the corner, cut off. Vasquez able to save it. Shot clock down to 7. Give the ball to Kyle Lofton and let him go to work.
That one dribble pull-up is Kyle's bread and butter, and that was too easy for him.
Lofton up to 5 points. St. Bonaventure leads this one 21-11. And a big screen from the freshman, Tyler Brailsford. He's going to get called for the offensive foul, and that will take us to break. Still all Bonnies in this one. You're watching Atlantic 10 Men's College Basketball on ESPN+. Hendershot's going to have to work back, though, from a 1-2. Knocks it into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Maybe more. Williams will come around to score. Sudbrook will hold Stillman up at third, and St. Bonaventure jumps out to the 1-0 lead. Hawks on first and second, nobody out. Elijah Baez in his first jam of the afternoon, trying to work out of it. Luca Trajani, the 3-2, got him looking! 2-1, runner goes. And what a dart from Jackson DeJean. Catches Mark Coley stealing, and that will end the inning. Do not run on that man. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Rhode Island still leads at 1-0. You're watching Atlantic 10 College Baseball on ESPN+. Well, Elijah Baez doing his job on the mound. Now that St. Bonaventure offense needs to crack the code against Mike Webb, who has shut down those Bonnies bats in the last 2 innings. Back on the mound here to open up the bottom of the fourth against Brendan Stillman.
Yeah, even with that pitch count a little high for Webb, he's pitched really well ever since he gave up the 3 hits in the first inning. Let's see if he can continue to keep this 2-1 lead here in the fourth.
Stillman singled back in the first inning. Was left stranded at third base. And he goes opposite field. But right there is McCall for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, solid piece of hitting right there, going the opposite field. But good catch there. And there's one down as Webb makes quick work of Stillman. Again, trying to limit that pitch count.
And you like to see, even though Stillman's been on a bit of a rise past couple weeks, overall this season the numbers are down. You like to see him going opposite field, a usually dead pole hitter.
Yeah, that's always a sign of a good hitter going the opposite field, especially in a situation like that.
Pierce Hendershot drove in the only run of the game for St. Bonaventure with a screaming double down the left field line in that first inning. He'll bat here, though, with nobody on and already one out in the inning. Fastball misses inside. Count pushes to 2-1. Since that opening frame, Rhode Island starting pitcher Mike Webb has only allowed one hit on a little blooper to Jackson DeJean. Aside from that, he has been locked in.
Yeah, he's really settled in very nicely, especially in this early inning. And you see his command has been spectacular ever since that first inning. He hasn't allowed to walk so far today. He's been really pounding that strike zone.
Hendershot up the middle. Second hit of the day for Pierce Hendershot.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there on a 3-2 count. Going right back up the middle for Bonaventure's first hit since that second inning.
Hendershot came into this game third on the team in batting average, doing nothing to hurt that mark this afternoon. He's now hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games and hitting well over 320 in that span.
Yeah, and both at-bats today have been very good. Remember in that first inning with that double, he turned on a low and in curveball, and this time on a 3-2 count, just going right back up the middle for 2 great hits so far today.
I know we talked about it in that St. Joseph's game, the unorthodox splits that Hendershot has against lefties and righties. He's 4 for 29 this year against left-handers, now 12 for 34 against righties.
Yeah, it's a little uncharacteristic, but you know, in college you see a lot more right-handed pitchers. So maybe for Pierce Hendershot, it's just a little bit more used to seeing the right-handed arm.
Brandon Myers will look to build on the one-out single from Hendershot. He faces a 1-1 count here against Webb. Struck out his first at bat. And he rolls over the 1-1. Let's see if the Rams can spin it. And they can't get Myers at first. Vargas was pulled off the bag.
So you see the throw onto first was a little weak. Vargas, it looked like he was pulled off a little bit too. You see the angle right there for the umpire might have not been the best, but nonetheless, Myers gets on the first.
And I was surprised there, Tom. The second baseman, Josh Brodeur, did not get a lot on that throw.
It didn't seem that way, and that's kind of why Vargas was really pulled off the bag. It wasn't a strong throw, wasn't a great throw, it was an accurate throw. And that's why Myers was able to get onto first instead of an inning-ending double play.
A good throw over there to first, and Rams are likely out of the inning. He had Myers by a couple steps.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way.
But credit to Myers for busting it down the line, and he will keep this bottom half of the fourth alive for St. Bonaventure. Ben Berger bats now. Myers on the move. Got him at second. What a throw by Sonny Juliana. And that will end the Bonaventure threat here in the bottom of the fourth. Juliana backing up his defense with a dart to second base. We head to the top half of the fifth. When we come back, you're watching Atlantic 10 College Baseball on ESPN+. Larry Sudbrook rolling with Elijah Baez after a 24-pitch fourth inning. He's back out there for inning number 5. You wonder how long that leash is for Baez, Tom, after a pretty extensive fourth inning.
I think we're going to be able to tell early in this inning as the top of the lineup comes up for the Rams. If he struggles early, maybe the leash is pulled a little bit quickly. But if not, if he can get through this inning, then he might be able to get through 6 with his pitch count not ridiculously high at 69.
White showing bunt on that first pitch from Baez, who got the fastball over. Curveball misses low. White 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Had a hit in yesterday's game, so trying to work his way into the hit column here, but falls behind 1 and 2.
Yeah, as you see Baez, again, I know you alluded to this last inning, but getting ahead in the count early, especially to that first batter, right, Tommy? That the first 2 innings he walked the first batter and maybe didn't have so much success afterwards, but now to this first batter attacking and getting ahead with a 1-2 count.
And a dangerous batter in White who had a stolen base in that first inning. Here he's caught looking on a beautiful curveball from Elijah Baez.
That was a fantastic curveball right there to get his 4th strikeout of the day. As you see it bending right in, and you cannot draw it up any better than Elijah Baez just did right there.
That is the first backwards K of the day for Baez, and he starts off the next batter with a strike. Josh Brodeur watches the first pitch, fastball over the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, definitely an encouraging sign for Coach Sudbrook. Like we just talked about, Elijah Baez, how deep he was going to go into this game was going to depend on the first few batters this inning.
You see slips on the mound there. Both he and Webb have taken a couple spills on the mound today. You wonder if it's a little slick after all the rain that fell yesterday.
Yeah, I was just about to say both starting pitchers have gone down so far today. You normally don't see that.
Baez falling behind here to Brodeur, 3-1 the count. That one yanked foul. Imagine Coach Sudbrook needed Baez to get as many innings as he could today with the stress that was put on the bullpen yesterday, with the doubleheader today. Again, Kyle Karinji likely not available after going over 70 pitches. And Baez on 3-2 plunks Brodeur. That will put him on with 1 out.
Yeah, tough pitch right there. Elected to go with the fastball. Normally with Baez, you see him go breaking ball on 3-2. But this time went fastball, tried to run it in, but instead it hits the back foot of Brodeur to give Rhode Island a base runner here in the 5th.
3rd hit batter of the year for Baez. And now Sonny Juliana, who got the Rams out of the bottom half of the inning after gunning down Brandon Myers on his stolen base attempt. We'll try to add to this lead now for the Rams. Juliana came into this game with a .327 batting average. 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, as we've talked about it so far today, Rhode Island really patient at the plate, especially these first few batters for Rhode Island, as you see the catcher getting ahead in the count here.
And another curveball misses. It's interesting to watch Baez. Man, when he is locked in, he is just dealing strike after strike, but when he gets out of rhythm, that funk usually lasts a couple batters.
Yeah, a little inconsistency is definitely a major thing for Elijah Baez. As again, we look at the last batter as his curveball was getting right over the plate. Now a little lost control.
Pumps in the fastball to push the count to 2-1. Some speed over there at first in Josh Brodeur, 7 of 7 on his stolen base attempts this year. And Juliana pulls the 2-1 foul. Count will even up now.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Brodeur is 7 for 7, and White is 100% on his stolen base attempts too. And Rhode Island, they like to run, and they're very, very good at it.
And that certainly has to take away from a little bit of the focus of Baez out there on the mound. He's got to worry about that speed over there at first. Again, turns to the curveball. Juliana spoils it.
Yeah, the last 3 pitches, very good. Fastball, and then another good curveball right there. So you see, even with the small sample size of this lone at-bat, first 2 pitches, lost a little control, but he's able to regain it, and now he's back in the count at 2-2.
Another check on Brodeur over at first. That pitch count climbing for Elijah Baez. Now up to 83 pitches. See if he can make it through 5 innings of work. And back-to-back hit batters. Elijah Baez plunked Josh Brodeur. Now he loses control of the curveball and hits Juliana.
Yeah, Tommy, this one was on the curveball. Last one was on the fastball. As you see, really both at bats, he was able to bounce back and get back into the count. But then on the last pitch, just loses it and hits back-to-back batters.
Are you surprised there's no action over there in the bullpen after back-to-back hit batters?
Yes and no. Yes, because Baez struggled a little bit last inning, and now here with the back-to-back hit by pitches. But no, because we've seen how long Sudbrook does like to go with Elijah Baez, and he has a lot of trust in number one on the mound right now. So yes and no. It kind of would a little bit depend, but maybe we see a little bit of action after the past 2 batters getting hit by pitches.
Danger time now for Baez. 2 men on with just 1 out in the inning, and big Xavier Vargas up to the plate again. He had a 3-run homer in yesterday's game. Watches the curveball miss inside. Vargas, the conference's reigning player of the week, has just been mashing baseballs lately. Currently riding a 5-game hitting streak. That might be in jeopardy, though, if he can't come up with a hit here. And he got a good piece of that one. He likes it. Deep to right center field. Back-to-back games. 3-run homers for Xavier Vargas. Bring him around, big fella.
Vargas crushed that one, Tommy. Like you said yesterday, had a big 3-run homer. This one does it again as he turns on this one and sends that ball deep over the right center field fence. And Rhode Island now at the big cushion with a 5-1 lead.
Part of Baez's success today, Tom, has been keeping those Rhode Island hitters, even though his controls eluded him at times, keeping those Rhode Island hitters off balance. Vargas was sitting fastball, and when he got it, he did not miss it.
And again, Tommy, when a bat is hot, it is hot, and you'll know about it. And Vargas, again, back-to-back days with a homer, and he is swinging a hot bat for the Rhode Island Rams.
Baez nearly hits Mark Coley on the 0-1. Gets a fastball over, grounded to Putney. Retires Coley for the 2nd out of the inning. So Vargas, I mentioned that 5-game hitting streak. Make it 6 games now. Over that span, he's hitting right around 440 with 5 home runs and 17 RBI.
Yeah, that is insane. 17 RBIs. He's producing runs all over the place for Rhode Island. Yesterday he had 4. Today with 3 RBIs so far. And again, Tommy, I can't stop saying it. When you have a hot bat, he's producing.
Baseball's a lot of fun when you're hitting like Xavier Vargas is right now. As Baez goes down again.
Yeah, you wonder if that mound is maybe a little wet, or, again, that's the 3rd time overall today that a pitcher has slipped, and the 2nd time Baez has in this inning.
You see the dark spot towards the front of the mound where the plant foot is. Wonder if that's starting to get beat up and a little slick. Baez with Bonnie's now trailing 5-1. Just trying to get some length out of this start. Save the bullpen for the last 2 games of the series. Of course, Bonaventure not out of this game by any means. They do trail this one, though, now 5-1. Back-to-back nice curveballs from Baez.
Yeah, again, classic Elijah Baez. When he's trying to regain that control, he goes to that curveball, and now he's ahead in the count 1-2.
Baez looking in for the sign, shaking off DeJean. Finally find a pitch he likes, the 1-2 to Fortin. Another high chopper Williams will give this one to Baez, and that will end the inning. But not before the Rams strike for 3 more runs, and it came on one swing from Xavier Vargas. They now lead this one 5-1. You're watching Atlantic 10 College Baseball on ESPN+. Can they finally claim victory in a tight fourth quarter contest?
Yeah, and the recipe to overcoming the 1-goal losses is just experience in those games.
Beto slips inside. Happy birthday, Brett Beto. He gives the Bonnies the 9-8 lead. Coming today with 5 players scoring in double figures this season. Even though Wesley and Rosa draw the majority of the headlines, there's another who knows how to score. Austin Blumbergs makes it 2-0 Bonnies. We talked about it a lot this afternoon. Despite the 10 goals, just 3 assists for St. Bonaventure, all coming courtesy of Jake Rosa. How about 6 goals from Sean Wesley? One of the great performances this program has seen. And we have got a stalemate with the opening faceoff. Austin Holly doing battle with number 24, Kyle Kobalinski. Still loose. And again, the faceoff X is going to be a point of emphasis for both teams today. Finally, St. Bonaventure looks like they're able to come away with it, but the ball goes loose. Was that a Manhattan goal? Yes, it was. A wild start to this game. A loose ball trickles past the Bonnies' goal, and Manhattan has the early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this is now how the Bonnies want to start their game. They have come accustomed to falling behind early in games this season, and they usually come back in the second quarter, as we see this one just get right by Dobson. Not how you want to start this game.
You see the ball just sailing, and Dobson was blocked by the post and couldn't get over to save it. A wild start to this one, and Manhattan, 30 seconds into the game, has a 1-0 lead. Face-off violation there against the Jaspers will give possession to St. Bonaventure.
And I think worth noting so far early in this game, coach for Manhattan going with Kyle Kobalinski instead of his normal man, Sean Badilli, who usually gets his action at the face-off X.
Who are you crediting that goal to, Ryan?
You know, not quite sure, Tommy. That is how a crazy start in this one.
Well, St. Bonaventure, with their first offensive possession after one of the craziest goals you'll see. Bonnie's looking to improve upon what was just a 4-goal performance against Quinnipiac. Played great on defense, keeping the Bobcats to just 5 goals, but not much doing on offense. Austin Blumbergs gets the scoring started for the Bonnies this afternoon.
Yeah, he didn't score at all in the game against Quinnipiac, so this is definitely how the Bonnies want to start, getting their looks on offense, getting him involved early, and they did here.
So the Bonnies, after giving up an opening goal 30 seconds into this game, answer right back. They turn to the redshirt sophomore captain, Austin Blumbergs. Let 9 shots go last game. This time, he finally finds the back of the net for his 6th goal of the season. 9 points.
Not quite sure this is how we thought this game would start, Tommy. Two of the best goalies in the conference and in the country, frankly, and we see 2 goals within the opening minutes.
And Austin Holly taking another face-off for the Bonnies. Again, Holly has struggled in the early going this year from the face-off X, but he might have an opportunity for success today. He already has won 2 face-offs. The first 4 games of his St. Bonaventure career, he's been matched up with the 3 best face-off specialists in the league. Twice he's faced Quinnipiac's Dimitri George. He's matched up with Detroit Mercy's Alex Jarzembowski and Monmouth's Matt Sutar.
Yeah, Holly, by statistics, is the 2nd worst in face-offs in the country among players who qualify, but as you said, it's definitely attributed more so to the opponents that he's faced.
So St. Bonaventure back-to-back possessions on offense. And Holly, a young man from Hilton, New York, who owns the record at Hilton High School for most face-off wins and ground balls in school history. So he's got the skills. He has just been thrown into the fire. Again, facing some of the best face-off specialists in the conference his first 4 games.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach Murns, he said he was big on, just letting him go out there, gain confidence, gain experience, and, he's hoping throughout the season he's going to continue to improve.
Bonnie's looking to capitalize on Holly's second face-off win, but they're going to give it away. Back come the Jaspers. Crossing midfield was C.J. Scharf. Now letting one rip wide left of the goal was Kyle Gukwa.
And getting a nice performance out of the first quarter is going to be key for the Bonnies in this one. They have been outshot by about 20 goals on the year in the first quarter. So the fact that they're tied right now in the early going is definitely a good sign for them.
Manhattan will set up for their first offensive possession. Getting that first goal not credited to an individual player. It goes as a team goal.
I guess that's one way to score on one of the best goalkeepers in the conference is just get a team goal.
Hey, you'll take them any way you can get them. This Manhattan team riding a 3-game win streak, coming off a 9-8 double overtime victory against Monmouth. That was one of the most electric games in the MAC Conference this year, Ryan.
Yeah, it looked like Manhattan had the game won in regulation with about 20 seconds left with a man-up opportunity, but then they turn it over. Monmouth comes down and with a clutch goal forces overtime, but then they do pull it off in the double overtime.
Trevor Pelletier turning the corner. Lost the handle on that shot. Looks like the Jaspers are going to be able to save it. And nope, they'll give it over to St. Bonaventure.
Well, that was really good effort. 2 against 1 there for the Bonnies defender. And I thought the Manhattan man got there first, but the referee's saying Bonaventure will retain possession here.
So St. Bonaventure on their first true defensive possession. Hold firm. Zach Belter with the clear. Gets it up to the number 30, Cam Germain. Now Wesley in front. Back-to-back goals for St. Bonaventure, and they take their first lead of the game.
Not surprised to see Mr. Wesley getting in the scoring column early in this one. Obviously, the 2 goals against Quinnipiac, basically their only offensive source in that game. So to see him getting going early, kind of our keys to the game is him getting going, and he's doing that so far for the Bonnies.
Soon as Belter cleared it to Germain, the Bonnies were on the attack. Wesley at point-blank range, slipped one past Krebs. And St. Bonaventure, the early 2-1 advantage, not even 5 minutes expired into this first quarter, already with half as many goals as they had in the entirety of their last game.
On this pace, we're going to get one of the highest scoring games in lacrosse men's history.
We expected this to be a low-scoring affair as Austin Holly takes his third face-off. So how about the freshman Austin Holly finding success at the face-off X for the first time this season?
Exactly what Coach Murns wants to see is his face-off man gaining some confidence throughout the game, and he's big on getting extra possessions for his team. So if Austin Holly continues to produce this way in this game, it's going to be good news for the Bonnies.
Jake Rosa on offense for St. Bonaventure obviously draws the majority of the attention, but we talked about it last week. Nobody on this team has scored more points over the last 3 seasons than Sean Wesley. Now 43 points in his Bonaventure career. That was his 7th goal on the season.
Yeah, Wesley is definitely having a great start to the season. And the Bonnies, obviously, in this game, looking for their first MAC conference win in program history. So leading early on, usually they struggle in the first quarter. So the fact that they're playing better in the first quarter, maybe Coach Murns kind of preached that in practice this week, and we see them improving.
Beto leaves it for Jake Emick, who appeared in his first game of the season last time out against Quinnipiac. He's going to let one fire, misses wide right of the cage. Wesley couldn't save it. And it'll go over to Manhattan.
Yeah, that's more what we're used to seeing from Mr. Krebs back there, is not allowing goals to go into the cage there. But see Manhattan get back on possession here and see if they can tie this game up.
Brendan Krebs, we'll talk more extensively about him as the broadcast goes on. But the reigning MAC Defensive Player of the Week and arguably one of the top goalies in the nation. We spoke to his head coach, Andrew Kelleher, said he is about as surefire a future pro as the Jaspers have on this team.
Yeah, Krebs is obviously one of the best goalkeepers in the country. And, there's no secret as to why Manhattan is one of the best teams in the MAC Conference. Obviously, Defensive Player of the Week for Krebs, but also Offensive Player of the Week for Mr. Kyle Gokwa. So seeing both of those offense and defense transpiring for Manhattan is good news.
Pelletier lets one rip wide left. Dobson has faced 4 shots already, but not a true save yet as Manhattan resumes on offense. There's Gukwa near side, being shadowed by Cam Germain, one of the Bonnies' better long stick defenders. Pelletier working, and he misses.
I don't think the shot clock will reset, so they only got 3 seconds. They'll probably just turn it over on purpose here to set up their defense as we see them do that.
And just launching that ball into the air was Luke Hansen, and as my partner said, Jaspers will get set up on defense. And the last time these two teams met, it was a significant game for both sides. Manhattan came away with the 15-12 victory back on February 23rd of 2019. It was their first conference win since the 2016 season. For Bonaventure, it was their first conference game ever. Jackson Rose made history with the program's first ever hat trick, but these two teams in somewhat similar positions. Bonaventure, a startup program. Manhattan the last few years has been forging a rebuild.
Yeah, but success follows Manhattan with their coach coming in, Andrew Kelleher. He's had success everywhere he's been, so Manhattan improving year after year is no secret as to why they've been able to do that.
Came to Manhattan after 2 years as an assistant coach at Boston University, where their program was going through a startup. St. Bonaventure back on offense. Rosa.
Yeah, Rosa had a nice, easy opportunity right in front of the cage there, but misses wide right. Maybe think about maybe his confidence is a little low after not playing as well as he probably would have liked to against Quinnipiac. But see if he can get going in this one. He was coming into the game. As we see the Bonnies score.
Blumbergs give him 2 on the afternoon. St. Bonaventure jumping out in front early. They now lead this one 3-1.
Blumberg's already 2 goals on the day now. Bonnies are starting very well on offense when usually their first quarter is where they struggle.
Look at the velocity on that shot from Blumbergs. The most recent goal from the redshirt sophomore will take us to break. Bonnies up early 3-1. You're watching MAC Men's College Lacrosse on ESPN+.